Hi, good morning, everybody. Future, we are ready. Next dot now really illustrates we are ready to accelerate, and we are clearly demonstrating a sense of urgency by saying future is now. Next dot now is what will make Tech Mahindra tick. Again, a warm welcome. More importantly is, we all have lived through these almost 19 months of the pandemic. Some days and months and weeks were worse than what we had imagined. I do want to think and pray for all your associates or people in your lives that may have suffered because of the pandemic. I know at our end, we are clearly missing about 125 of our associates all over the world. And you know, the worst part is that for most of the people that out of the 125, average age was 31. So, you know, I do not want to dwell too much about, you know, what that pandemic was. But in a lot of ways, you know, for most of us in personal and professional lives, it really meant going back to basics. It really meant that there are a few things which are a little more important than others. And today, I'm going to obviously spend a lot more time on what the journey for Tech Mahindra has been. You've been part of this journey. The reality is there is a lot more for us to celebrate because we, together with you, continue to build the organization. We continue to build on the heritage. We continue to build on, you know, the strength, which I've always said that if Tech Mahindra were to rewrite history, what they would be proud of is 1,200 happy customers. What I would be proud of is 141,000 associates all over the world. What I would be proud of is the investments in becoming local in 90 countries. What I would be proud of is a distributed management which works not only from this headquarters of Pune, but works from minimum, my top, the people that report directly to me, all the 14 of them probably work from 7 different countries. So I think that's a heritage on which I'm lucky that I'm building the organization or leading the organization. And let me take you through, you know, in a lot of ways, where we are headed. In a lot of ways, another strength of Tech Mahindra is that if me and my leadership decide to execute, you know, what we would call, if we can imagine, if we can build on it, and if we can start running, we will hit the goal. And in a lot of ways, that's what it means for our employees, that's what it means for our customers, and it honestly means is we have to constantly, when we engage with our customer, we have to engage with them where we help them run, we help them build, and we help them imagine their future. So again, I do want to re-emphasize that the Tech Mahindra that you see today after those 18, 20 months, or actually almost after 2 years, we were together here in November, of 2020, at November of 19 we were here, and a few things have definitely changed. The things that have changed is, this actually Tech Mahindra now operates on 6 Ps, not 3 Ps. What you see out here is those 3 Ps which are more important than others. If I were to say, what binds all of us together, it's a purpose. Again, there's enough statistical reports to show that the companies which walk and talk purpose have a much happier place of work. It also shows that in a long run, they are more appreciated by every stakeholder, whether it is customers, whether it is the stock market, or whether it is friends like you. Similarly, we're building this organization on the strengths of people. We are very, very conscious that there is a war. It's called talent war. But what brings us together, what motivates us, what continues to excite us is that we are still one of those companies at 141,000 have still maintained a friendly or a familial structure of working. I mean, it was surprising because I think a lot of us had put a lot of effort, but Dilip Keshu, who had, pretty much interacted with the management physically only when he came in this time, the first thing he actually came in after this one day of meeting, he said, CP, I don't know whether you realize it, you have something very unique. People know each other, people want to work with each other, and it is not only people, it is the families which are bonding together. So I think it was Dilip, thank you for pointing this out, because we sincerely believe that an organization without a soul, it's not going to be fun. And we are work hard, play hard company, and we'll continue to be that. Similarly, I think the biggest change that has happened, and I want to thank Harsh for bringing in that change. What Harsh took a pause last year and said, friends and family, culture, purpose, everything is perfect. All these statements about culture eats strategy or strategy eats culture, we will discuss it over a drink. I want to start putting some boundaries. And I want to start doing a performance management system. I want to give, not only the key objectives to N, but I want to get down to the N-3 level. So he built this for 300 people, a very fine, robust, automated, AI-driven performance management system. And I must tell you, because I am one of those instinctive guys, so I did mention to her that, are we going to become very mechanical? How do you judge many pursuits where the results are not obvious tomorrow, day after tomorrow? He said, listen, I'm not taking away the objectivity, but I'm not taking away the decision making from the managers. But if you do not track the performance, if you do not measure it on a weekly, monthly basis, we are not going to be running an organization. And if we don't do it like a scorecard, like a reality show, we are not building an organization for future. And I do want to thank Harsh for being insistent and persistent about it, because it has made a lot of difference in the way we work. The other 3 Ps that I did not bring in, but we have worked hard on it. One is on the product portfolio. Rajesh Chandramani, who is now moved back into operations, spent a lot of his time on working on the product portfolio. And now I have a new colleague who has joined me, Kunal Purohit. You will meet him, and Kunal and Manish are spending a lot of time on product portfolio. The last part that I would, or rather 2 more. One is the process side. So Rohit Anand, who is our deputy CFO, when he came in, and he came from a GE background, so obviously to him, processes, and definitely the most high impact processes, he wanted to work on it so that we are able to define the inputs and outputs a lot better, and we can remove the friction by not defining it. So the fifth P was really where Rohit and Neeraj, again Neeraj is a very bright, he used to be our CFO of Comviva, now he's been moved in by Milind. So Rohit and Neeraj have worked a lot on the process side. The last part, the last P, I mean, that I don't know whether it is really applicable here, because the word I use the P for production, but actually it is all operations. So I have a lot of my friends, I mean, where Simi from a transformation office, and a lot more people who have worked very hard on operations, how to become better on operations. I mean, I just use the word 6 as a P, but I just wanted to give you that the company has worked on all the 6 Ps. I think clearly these results, I mean, we have been reporting to all of you. So I'm not going to go through all the results here, but I can only say is the journey has only begun now. I'm not looking at this to look back. None of my leadership are going to use this as a reason to celebrate. They are going to go forward, and they are going to build on this foundation. Again, Harsh is going to talk a little more on diversity. We have differences of opinion here, because on the leadership level, there is still a lot more work to be done. But the reality is that when it comes to the scorecard, our women workforce is now almost 35%, and it's an improvement from 31%, almost 31%. So last time when I was here, one of you or many of you had asked me a question, what are the challenges? Everything looks fine, I mean, 2 years ago. Your commentary is more confident. I remember Kamaljeet coming and telling me is that morning to evening, there is a consistency in communication. And he also said is that I feel a little more confident now. I don't remember what report he wrote that day, but clearly his message was that you as a management team 2 years ago when we came in front of you in November 19 are a little more cohesive. But few of you asked me what are my challenges. And that time I told you we have invested in competencies, but it is like building kitchens and not being able to serve the top 50 accounts, because my typical account management is built around one person who belongs to a competency. It could be an IT, it could be an IMS, it could be the BPS, or it could be the engineering services, or it could be XYZ. So we together have not been able to, and we used to address 7 pillars. I think what we did is actually brought in our all experiences and our determination to deliver Next.Now, to deliver a better account management and a better solution offering and a better service offering. And my colleagues are going to share with you, because all these 4 points will be covered in detail by my colleagues. So all I wanted to re-emphasize is the change that you have seen is in the top 100, we now have a much better and a cohesive account management. Our service offering focus is from the lens of the customer. It is about helping a customer, as I said, run, build, and imagine. It is about bringing in our experience, our heritage of connectivity. I mean, somebody did ask me yesterday, and I'm going to repeat the same story today. He said, why do you spend so much time on connectivity? And I didn't want to give him the same answer that you normally hear on the phone call, how CME is doing. I said, I'm lucky that I have a heritage called MBT. We are lucky that a 60-cent chip today holds a $60,000 car. Why am I calling it lucky is because it only shows that the world's semiconductor capacities are being utilized 120%. You are booked for next 10 months. Now, that really means is all these devices, IoT, or smartphones, every connection out there, that means for every business to run, we are talking about connectivity. And today, Tech Mahindra is best invested in that connectivity. So I can again, Dilip, who leads our experience practice, as you know, for us, experience practice is actually two parts. One is the creative side. One is the content side. One is about, making commerce happen. The other customer experience side, which you all have noticed, has given consistent growth. That consistent growth over the last 11 quarters, and industry leading, and frankly, better than anyone else in the industry is our BPS group. A very fine group led by a very young, enterprising gentleman called Biren. And I'm sure when you interact with Biren, so on Dilip's side, you will hear about how he is helping an ordinary car becoming a racing car, and car is going to be my favorite story, so you keep hearing. In a little while, I'll tell you one more. And whereas to keep some of the daily work going, but with breakthrough objectives, with AI and data at the heart of BPS, Biren has got a fascinating organization that he has built. And honestly, if the rest of the company can grow at his pace, if the rest of the company can deliver that CSAT, if the rest of the company can deliver that ESAT, I think I can retire. But I'm in no hurry. So Biren, keep challenging all of us. On the engineering, let me again, on the cloud side, I'm really happy that we have Suri Chawla, who is taken over global head of cloud engineering. He came in through an acquisition. This is literally one of those where Suri lives in California, close to all the action during the day, which is all the technological changes, how the service offerings, and through the evenings he works with Sudhir Nair. Sudhir Nair, who heads our IMS and all the cloud practices globally, and Suri works with Sudhir Nair. They work together and they have created music. 300 million to 600 million. So thank you. Again, one of those role models, and I'm sure there are a lot more that you will see through the day. Why I brought this car here? It is just to say how industry is changing. Foxtron, which is contract manufacturing, very successful. Almost, you could say that the electronic industry will come to a stop if there was no Foxtron. But a Foxtron introduces 3 new e-vehicles in October 2021. And who designed it? We did, yours sincerely. Why? Because we did an acquisition called Pininfarina. And how will this change the world? How will this change the industry? And that is where I think the firm's competence in engineering, it is right here. All of us read the same newspapers which say, future of auto industry is EV, future of energy is EV, future of design is EV. It's not only Tesla. So here you are, guys, the company with the capability to deliver this car on the road. You've seen some more announcements in the past, like Batista from Mahindra and Mahindra, but all I'm trying to repeat is your firm has repurposed some of their service offerings, and we are in a much better position to serve our accounts, and the focus is building deeper, better relationship with those 1,200 accounts that we have. Again, many of you have also heard me on the analyst calls that one of the other pillars of our success is our large deals momentum, which only shows is the company has reconfigured ourselves. One of our very well-known leaders, Jagdish Mitra, now spends more than 50% of his time on generating large deals, momentum, signing orders which create a backlog for us. So Jagdish has been reasonably successful. As you can see, the graph is inching forward. Last 12 months, 3 billion. And I do promise you that he has got very capable shoulders and he will carry a lot more responsibility to deliver more large deals as we go along. I think there are two vectors on which our growth is being designed right now. The two vectors is CME will remain the most important vertical for Tech Mahindra. And luckily the market is also recognizing it. I already shared with you, it is no longer about telco. Dr. Satish Pai, Rohit Madok, Dhanashri Bhatt, who else? Manish Vyas, of course, but I'm just trying to remember the names here. They are no longer talking about CME in size. Now they're saying value creation, value impact. I'll let Manish Vyas when he comes in and share in detail, but I just wanted to quickly give you the reference that there are some dedicated CME managers who are on the floor with me right now. Sachin Saraf, and they will be able to give you a lot more color. You know what we have more or less as a strategy is we will convert BFSI a road to 1.5 billion. Manufacturing, Nilesh Otti is here, and Nilesh is touching billion. He also wants to grow it to 1.2, 1.3 very soon. HLS to us is a growth gem. Growth gems are internally a language that we use, and it is used across Mahindra Group. So if any one of you is covering Mahindra Group, they will also hear the same language. That growth gem is where we put in extraordinary effort to bring in extraordinary results. So HLS is our growth gem. It's about 400 million. High Tech is about 500 million. Both of them will touch billion in less than 2 years. That is the investment we are making. Obviously, these are aspirational goals. These are, goals that on which we want to accelerate. Similarly, the growth gems are these competencies that you see right here, where we will be making extraordinary investments, and the result has to be that they become more than $1 billion. All four of them, the market space is well defined. You will be meeting the leaders during the rest of the day, where they will take you through their journey. As I said, Suri and Sudhir, 300 million to 600 million this year. They're probably going to be the fastest to hit $1 billion. Similarly, network services, practically there at $1 billion. How do they grow more? From an engineering services point of view, as I said, auto, aerospace, medical devices, we have got all the right references. It is now leveraging on some of those capabilities. I was joking with somebody that we acquired this company called Cerium to build in a semiconductor competency. And obviously you're seeing where semiconductor industry is. They just can't fill up their demand. And I can't create that demand in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. We also have our own universities and training centers. And this is not where I can, honestly, it takes time to build that talent. But the good news is that there is a planning which is happening with the customer. Whether it is a telecom chip manufacturer, whether it is a semiconductor manufacturer, about growing that engineering practice in the chip design, because they also realize that it is a cyclical industry, but it is better to plan for it. So I know one of my other competitors use the word chip to cloud, but when I put this, I mean, that was definitely an easy way to describe that, yes, we are investing. Actually, I'll take it back. Some of these names that you see, Factorial, YABX, and HealthNext, I mean, are we calling it a SaaS platform? Internally, we use the word, earlier we used to use the word Wave 4, but somehow one of my leaders who came in and they decided that we are not showing a sense of urgency by saying it is Wave 4. I need to start calling it as a garage. And that garage will become a unicorn eventually. That we will spin it off. It is an incubation, and we will spin it off separately. But these are some of the investments for the future. Most of these are now, if you were doing a fundraise, I would say HealthNext would be Series A, but YABX and Factorial would be probably in a Series B stage right now. That means you have referenceable customers, the product and the platform is now proven, and it is being used in commercial use right now, and with more than 5 customers each. The backbone, as I said, is for our business is always how well we engage with our customer, how we are able to listen to the customer. I actually go one extra step, and I said, when a customer feels happy and they go to sleep saying that Tech Mahindra is looking after some of their production challenges, some of their delivery issues, some of their future growth platforms, and a customer really sleeps well while we toil hard, that is what is delivery. That is the heart of our company. That is what makes us different. We have grown this company by building much deeper relationship with our clients. And we will continue on that DNA. But we all know that you have to continuously invest. And that continuous investment is more on platform-led delivery. It is more about building AI. I mean, AI is also becoming a too many times used word. But people like Rohit Madhok and Satish Pai and Sudhir Nair and Simmi, they are being challenged that I need to have, if there is a book written on future of delivery, it should be written because Tech Mahindra did this. That's really the challenge, and I'm happy that they are investing under the leadership of Krishna Ramaswamy. I don't know if Krishna is here. Yeah, Krishna is he used to be the CEO of a digital company for 3 years, and we are lucky that he has taken the charter to lead us on delivery the platforms and engineering platforms. So in a lot of ways, what you have just seen is the firm which is now continues to look at all the 6 Ps. The only one that I could not put into the P framework, though, I mean, if I leave it to Vivek, he will bring it into the P framework, is our M&A, because it is an important part of our growth strategy. It is an important part of our delivery capability strategy. It has now also become an important part of our talent development strategy. It has also become important for us to build a leadership cadre. As you know that both, Dilip Keshu now independently runs a portfolio of service offerings. Suri runs a huge part of a service offering, and both of them, we got to know them through an acquisition. So M&A, while it will continue to be our focus to build capabilities, but I think we are also lucky is that we are also not only augmenting, but in certain cases increasing our geo reach. I'm just going to summarize it here. You have heard the purpose, you have heard that there is, we often joke inside the company that we have a leader called Sandeep Chandna. He's probably the most understated guy that I know. But, when it comes to awards, ESG, we have probably got more rewards or awards or recognitions than I can ever imagine. So I can only say is the world is noticing your company's focus on ESG. And, I'm sure Harsh will take us through. But ultimately what you are seeing is the firm is focused on value creation. The firm is focused on value creation for the employees, both in terms of increasing their tech quota, tech index, and also value creation for the clients, value creation for all the stakeholders. And I'm proud that the company has rallied together to deliver value in the last 6 quarters. And I am very, very confident that now this journey is sustainable, that this journey is clearly built on some very, very well segmented strategy, but more important is all of us know what the strategy to execution means, and that glue where we are focused on execution on all the 6 Ps, I think that's what makes Tech Mahindra a great company, and we'll continue to build on it. As usual, I would appreciate your feedback, your questions. As I've said in the past, I'm going to say it again, that many times your questions lead us to refine some of our approaches. So let's continue with this two-way dialogue. And thank you again. Thank you for this pleasant morning. Thank you.